What is up, all my YouTube people out there? This is your ambition guide, Chris Corman, back at it again with another YouTube video. And what I want to talk about today is destructive mental patterns, what you can do to identify them and solve them before they impact your life negatively. So, for me personally, my destructive mental pattern is generally triggered by family members or, let's say, coworkers being rude to me. Strangers, I do pretty good because I don't really expect a lot from strangers. I have a good defense mechanism already set up against them. So customers, clients, and just people I meet, let's say in my everyday life, somebody on the road is rude. I generally don't get frustrated at all because I don't expect much out of that. For me, it's just when a close family member is rude randomly or without, when I feel like without cause, I can get frustrated. And generally, I do pretty good at not letting myself become frustrated. I can be pretty positive, but let's say the circumstances are more conducive towards me being frustrated, like I'm tired, I'm in a rush, I'm stressed out, I'm more likely, or hungry, I'm more likely to be triggered to get into a negative mental pattern where, for me, I will get into running thoughts. I will be negative towards that person. I'll still start having like a negative tone with that person. And if it goes into a full blown argument, let's say the person wants to lash back and get frustrated with me also, I can say, screw you, I don't want to talk to you again. I'll text them, I'll cancel them out from, let's say, my brother, if I'm giving him money or paying his insurance, I'll be like, dude, I'm not going to pay your insurance anymore. My little sister, I'll be like, you're not on the ambition guide list. And it sucks because I love my family and I don't. It is actually a waste of time, waste of effort, and waste of energy to even get into that argument with them because 100% out of the time, what actually ends up happening is a day later or just a couple hours later, and even 1 hour later after I calm down, I will immediately apologize to them, say, hey, I don't want to have this negative energy with you, this grudge with you. Let's just be cool. And even if I wasn't really in the wrong and they were really in the wrong, I'll even apologize to them just to even things out, so we don't have to maintain tension because that drags us down, drags our energy down, makes us feel more stressed out. For me, when I have a negative relationship with my family members, it really affects me because we are not islands to the world. We are made by our friends and our family. It's a interconnected deal. Your spirit, your personality is based on your friends, the relationships you have with your friends, your family, and your community. So if you lose a part, you lose a friend, you lose a family member from your life through, if they die, that can have the same effect. But when you have a bad situation, or argument happen with them, and you cancel your relationship with that person, that's like losing a part of you. And so you don't want that to happen, and I don't like for that to happen in my life. And generally, I do it when it happens. It's irrational, and I think you should want to cancel that out as soon as you can. So what I'll do is I'll think to myself the thoughts I'm having. Like let's say I want to cancel a relationship with a particular family member. I'm starting to think things like that, or I'm thinking screw that person. I say, hey, do I generally think that about that family member or that friend or that coworker? And I'm like, no, I generally don't. I like that person. I love that person. So I'll say, hey, I'm actually just in a negative thought pattern, and I just try to, I take a deep breath, clear my thoughts. And sometimes it takes more than one deep breath. It may take 10 deep breaths. But you clear your thoughts. You just stop thinking because don't continue to think because you know the thoughts that you're thinking in that particular emotional state are incorrect. They're just wrong. And they're not what you generally feel and believe. So cancel those thoughts out and just go to no thinking, just in a calm state, and until your emotional momentum has subsided, then you can go back to thinking your normal, calm, rational thoughts. Don't let that emotional energy wreak havoc on your life because if you think about like what could be the biggest impact of this emotional thought run, you see people doing it all the time. People will kill each other in their rages, in their anger, and they will get into arguments. They'll divorce each other. They'll get into actual fistfights with their spouses and their friends and you can really hurt somebody. You can, maim that person. You could kill that person. You could. A lot of bad things can happen. So you don't want that to happen. You want to neutralize it as quickly as possible, because it's like a ball or a tire or a ball that starts rolling, or a boulder rolling down a hill. It gains more and more momentum, and the destruction can be bigger and bigger as that momentum carries forward. So you want to cancel it as soon as possible. Another strategy for me would be like, let's say I'm getting ready to get into an argument, just leave the situation as quickly as possible. If you gotta leave the room, if you need to go, for me, I don't drive crazy when I get angry, so I can just go on a drive. I can just leave the house or the place that I'm at with that person I'm getting frustrated with. And a good idea also is to say, hey, I'm not going to text that person or call that person until I'm calm, so you don't text them or call them crazy things and then further escalate the argument that you're having. So let's review real quick. People, you guys, myself, probably have a destructive mental pattern that you get into, and it might lead you to do even crazier things. Like, let's say you have a drug habit, you might end up saying, hey, I want to calm down, so you go get super drunk, and that can, you manifest a destructive situation there where you like blackout drunk, you maybe have unprotected sex with a stranger, or you drive drunk and you get a DUI. You don't want that to happen, so you want to take control of your emotional state, calm yourself down. So review again, identify when you're having a destructive mental pattern, say, hey, are these thoughts inconsistent with who I am normally and what I believe normally? And if they are, say, I'm not going to listen to myself, I'm going to neutralize my thoughts, I'm going to have no thoughts, I'm going to clear my thoughts, I'm going to take a deep breath. And if you can neutralize that before it wreaks havoc in your life, you can save yourself a lot of emotional distress between you and that person. So I hope this video has been useful. It's very simple. Just take deep breaths when you feel like you're getting into a destructive mental pattern. Do not fight back or fire back towards that person, even if, in general, even if they're in the wrong. Sometimes be stern, but do not be enraged. And calm yourself down, and then after a couple hours, maybe talk to that person about that same situation in a calm, rational way. Do not be emotionally charged when you talk to that person. And tune in next time, and stay ambitious, my friends.